Hi all. Right, it's been quite some time since I recorded this last piece. Obviously, this will just be carrying on from where I left off, but quite a few days passed by. I kind of felt like I've hit a bit of a wall with the game. I don't know. I didn't have the full time to sit down and do stuff, but I wasn't really. Didn't really feel like coming back and sitting down again. I don't know why. Um, Maybe I just need to get back in it. I think the last couple of parts of this video, the beginning, I think the first episode, me trying to deploy my reserves, and I think it's like 10 minutes of wondering where I'm going to put them, and I'm not sure that's the sort of video I would want to watch. I did want to create a video that would just show the game played properly without mistakes, but I feel like I'm getting bogged down with my thoughts. Some of you maybe like to think about strategies and look about what I'm thinking about, and sometimes that can come into it, but I just felt like that was like, oh, and I almost went back and thought, well, I'll do this again because, and just put the reserves out where I'm going to put them rather than go through all the process. I think just looking back on that kind of put me off a bit, but I haven't really had as much time. Another thing, I've got a couple of friends coming soon to play a couple of board games, so I'm wondering about if I might need this table. I do have another table over there, admittedly, so I might just be able to switch them over because I think I'd want this position. This is in the middle of the room. I did think about trying to move this one to a smaller table I've got, just to put it aside for now, then I could get this table. But I've got this is on plexiglass, and moving it over, it might go all wrong. So I don't want to stop this series of videos. I'd like to get it to the end. We've done it with the German Soul one, so I would like to continue it to the end. I feel things might go a lot slower now, and there is that risk of, if I do try and move this, that it all falls apart and things move about, and so hopefully that'll not happen. And like I say, I'm thinking I could probably just switch these tables over and just keep it on this table. Anyway, you don't need to know about all that. So like I say, haven't been feeling it. Maybe I burnt myself out a bit. That was a lot of German solo, and just moved straight onto this. And I did say I was going to take it a bit slower, but it got me, it grabbed me, and it drew me in and that. But I think I've just maybe overdone it a little bit. But anyway, right, okay, let's not go on anymore and see if we can find out where we are and maybe have an impulse or two. Now, I did check back, I'm on an allied impulse, so I'm just going to have a wee thought though. I've not really studied things and worked out what I'm going to do, so give me a sec. Okay, I'm not going to dwell on things too much. This is what I had thought about doing, so I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to play the first army card to activate any one first army corps and stacked units, and then it gives a bonus combat support. Now, I think I mentioned that I thought it was artillery, but I think I looked it up, and I think you get any combat tactic. Mind you, maybe I need to check that. Yeah, that is right. So any attacks that any of these units make, each combat gets a wild card combat tactic, if you like. So you can use any combat tactic on top of any other combat tactics that you play as well. So it's really quite strong. Now, I'm probably not, there's going to be a temptation when you know that to consider an attack. I do have the three, it's 18 core I'm going to activate because I want to try and position them a bit better. But there is going to be a temptation to attack with them, and the fact you're getting any one combat tactic. I do have a bit of an issue here though. I thought I would be able to just stroll these guys back a bit, but I had a look at the movement and they're not getting very far at all. However, so that's the card I'm going to play, and it's mainly just to reposition some of the units to defend some of the areas that are looking a bit needing defending, which is, there's a lot of their areas, but and unfortunately there's no other units stacked with the 18 core units, because that's the other bonus to this. You actually get to activate the units that are stacked with it from, you know, it could be stacked from any core and they would activate too, but we've not got the option of that. So something to consider though. It's not a bad idea to leave the, you know, multiple units stacked of different cores, with cards like that coming up. But okay, I'll go and have a look and see what I'm thinking. Okay, first of all, I want to get a unit down at St Hubert, because this German unit's proximate to St Hubert, so I think I'll just move this guy. So I'm going to strategically move him 1, 2, 3, 4 into St Hubert. And I had thought about going into Marseille to protect this fuel marker, and I think I might do that. Yeah, I'm just going to spread some stuff about. I think I'll just, since this guy's a 2 strength, strategic move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 into Hugh or Way, however it's pronounced. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to move stuff down in Marseille. I think this looks like, I mean, this is where the 2 closest units are as well. And it looks like the route that they're going to come through, so thinking about maybe even moving 2 units down into here. I'll just move that guy back into Havelange, and I think I'll just move this into Rochefort. Yeah, I'm not awful sure, to be honest, you know. I just feel like I should be covering them up and should have done a bit of that sooner, but the Germans come through kind of quick there, you know. And yeah, okay, let's go with that. Right, so it's trickier. I've got the other units up in there beside the first SS. So. Okay, so the problem here is the movement, really. I mean, this guy could go, he could move a wee bit out the way, but these 3 armoured units can only move into this forest, and it's not via the road, and they're breaking zone of control, so it's going to be 5 movement for them to move in there. So that's them done. They can't move in strategically. They're going to move from there to there, and that's them done. Now this unit can also only move into there, but that's then going to be 4 units in there, which starts making me think, why don't you use this attack? Use the armoured units, attack something, even just this infantry unit. I'm thinking, well, I don't really think that's what I should be trying to do. But I can't move all these units back, so something's got to have to sit. This infantry's either going to have to sit there, or one of them are going to have to sit. I mean, getting that armour back into the forest, still on the road as well, is quite good, I suppose. And yeah, the infantry, it's going to cost 3 for the infantry to move into that forest too, because again, breaking zone of control, and then 2 move into the forest. So, yes. Just had a cheeky thought about moving this unit along here to surround this guy. Germans need to start tracing supply from tomorrow, but I mean, we're good bit of the day to go, but it would sort of trap him. But I should really be concerned about this first SS getting through towards Spa and even worse Verviers. So and this is a unit that can move up quite a bit. So I don't think that probably is the right thing to do. So after looking at this again, this unit can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into Spa. So it's not a terrible move moving that unit to there. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that after all. So 1, 2, move him into there. So now just got to decide what, if it's the 3 armoured units I move back. Yeah, I'm going to move the armoured units back. So that's full 5 movement to move into there. Unfortunately, this guy's not going to be able to move now. He will be able to build an IP, which is something at least. Well, in actual fact, that's me. That's all the units moved. Yeah. So only there's a unit in Rochford that didn't move, but he can't build an IP. But this guy can build an IP at least. So we shall do that. So no attacks, no benefit from the first army card regarding that, but I think we had to use it. Wait to see, I'll draw the supplemental 18 airborne card next, but hey ho. I have 3 cards left in my hand, and there's 3 cards in the draw pile, so I think we're only on 5, aren't we? Sorry I'm having to look back, like I say, it's been quite a few days, in fact, over a week or so I think. Where were the 18th? Hand size is 5, yeah, okay. Right, well that's our impulse over, so I'll bash on though, get a German impulse going. There's just a reminder of my 3 cards I had left, so I'm going to draw 2. Got no command, and 12 core. Now there's 1 card left. Am I not right in thinking that'll be the core artillery? I think it is. That's a shame then, we probably wanted to have that in our hand. However, that's what it is. Okay, I'll get a German impulse. Right, let's see what we get. No, it's not the paper card either. Okay, so that's not the one that... Yeah, it's a Piper and the 150 we've got to watch for. So it's a primary card. So that goes in the command card box. This goes in the sport card box. There's no event on this card, so we're right in here. Now, just to remind myself, that is 66 core, so that is the orangey ones rather than the red ones up the top. Okay, so we're going to activate all units in the core. Okay, there's no roadblocks adjacent to any of the units. There's just 3 units in this core, and they have a core objective marker. So check the location objective marker. Well, there's still. That's what it's just that. It's just that unit. Is it? No, 1, 2, 3. No, that's within 3 as well. So there's still an allied unit within 3. So we're not moving that. The actual army objective marker is not. There's no German unit proximate or within 2 of that either. So the objectives aren't moving. So we're going to have to see if they're going to move, and obviously because it's a core, we move it with 9.23. So let me have a look. Okay, so move and ascend in order. So this is unit number 1. Wants to move towards the nearest allied unit, which is this one. Well, he's got a couple of hexes he can move to. So if able to reach more than 1, move to a hex that would cause the allied unit to become surrounded. Well, the unit's already surrounded. Then to an unoccupied hex, then to the easternmost hex. Well, you can actually reach that hex or that hex, I would think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so you can reach that or that. Yeah, you can't reach that. So he's got a choice of 2 that are both empty. Then it says to the easternmost. Okay, I think that's fair enough. I'm just thinking about 9.24, the tactical adjustments, where they wouldn't. Yeah, he's going across a river, isn't he? Well, on saying that, they're both going across a river, aren't they? And he can't get to that hex, like I've just said, which wouldn't be going across a river. So I think going by the tiebreakers of unoccupied hex, then easternmost, would mean he just goes into that hex. Which is a little bit strange because the tiebreakers for movement methods would say closest to the army objective, which, well, then we're at that argument about, is this the army objective, does this count as the army objective, or is that one? Well, it doesn't matter, they're both that way, which would mean, you know, he would go 1, 2, 3 into here. However, I think the fact that fourth bullet of 9.23, if able to reach more than one hex adjacent to an allied unit, move to a hex that would cause the allied unit to become surrounded, then to an unoccupied hex, then to the easternmost hex. Hang on. Yeah, I'm not feeling 100% sure about if we should be following that and saying that would be the easternmost hex, or if you should consider the tiebreakers that we say move it closer to his army objective, which would end up with it in that hex. But I'm going to go with that one and say that both these hexes were empty. This is the easternmost of the 2, so that looks like the priority that it's one time. And when it comes to tactical adjustments in 9.24, then they're both attacking across the river. I can't avoid that. But they're both unoccupied hexes as well, so that doesn't alter it in any way that I can see. So, okay, so good with that one. So then unit number 4, which is here, well, he's probably going to move into that core objective, isn't he? He's wanting to move adjacent to that too. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that detachment will come off. He's just going to move into here. So that's an empty hex. That's the only empty hex you can get to that's close to that unit. Yeah, that looks fine. And then unit 21, he's already adjacent. Now here we go though. But then again, no, I think I looked at this before. I don't think they're not going to move. There are some methods that would maybe want to move that to a different hex, but this just says, yeah, hang on. I think I looked into this before and then realised that it was only certain movement methods, I think. Yeah, I think I went over this before, didn't I? And because this unit's not movement, it's not moving. The tactical adjustments, these adjustments apply to all movement methods in which a German unit is moving adjacent to an allied unit. So he's not, but, and I think I've pondered on this one before, because you really, this unit could move up and around into here. And, you know, again, okay, I don't want to go on again about what I would do if I was playing the Germans, and you know, the AI should be doing it better. I'm not going to go into that one again, but it does look like it would be better to come across there. You're not fighting across a river, but there's nothing to say that. Where is the bit that would move it then? I don't know what I'm starting to go into there, but I don't want to start getting bogged down any more than I have been recently. And like I say, you know, it was kind of difficult to get back to the table here, so I do feel like I'm maybe burning myself out a bit with the game, which is a shame, and it's certainly not a knock on the game, but Probably shouldn't have jumped into the Allied solo straight away, and should have took a bit of a break from it. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. Just take it slow, Grant. Just take things a bit slower. Maybe upload this next video. Oh, I think I've got the 18th part 1 up, haven't I? So this will be just the second part of the 18th. So maybe upload this and spend some time doing some other things. And if there's any comments, at least that'll give me time to look at them and realise what's what. Okay, so I don't think he's moving. He's already adjacent. And my thinking is that I don't think he does try and make any moves round about and whatever. Okay, so that is all the movement done. So now we've got to see if they're going to determine if they're going to attack. So give me a sec. Okay, so we're looking at unit number 1 first. Well, they're all adjacent to this one unit anyway, so they're all going to be part of the determination. There's not an assault coordination and as a support card, so we don't need to consider that. So we've got, and there's no reserve units as well. There's no active reserve units. So we've got 5, 9. That's just objective marker. So 9. So it's 10, but it's all across the river. So it's 5 against what we got here. 3. Right, he's in a forest. He's in an IP, but he's low supply. So it's not very great odds, is it? So 5 against 3. In a forest is +1. 5 against 4. Approved position is +1. That's 5 against 5. He's not adjacent to supplied unit and he's unsupplied. So that's a -1. So it's 5 against 4. Yeah, so it is only 1-to-1 odds. Is that right? Not missing anything. Okay, so 1-to-1 odds, and is there any modifiers? We're not elite. It's not an army card. Support card shows applicable combat tactic. Well, it's reinforced battle, and this unit is adjacent. He's not part of the 5th Panzer Army, but it is adjacent. And to be honest, this potentially could reinforce as well, and that's from the 5th Panzer Army. So that is an applicable combat tactic. So there's a -1 to the dice roll. We're just 1-to-1 odds. So can I squeeze that in there? Ooh, almost. Right, so 1-to-1 odds, a -1. We'll roll again. So 3. There's a possibility. 3, so it's a 2. Yeah, less than 1.5 to 1, or defenders in a non-VP. I'm going to have to work out the 1.5 to 1 bit. Or defenders in a non-VP town. Okay, so what did I say we had? We've got 5 against 4. Surely that's not 1.5. It's greater than 1-to-1. Hang on. I'm going to have to work it out. Right, it needs to be 6-to-4, doesn't it? I find that awful difficult for some reason. It's probably not a tricky thing to work out, but I mean 2-to-1's 8, 1-to-1's 4, so 1.5-to-1's got to be 6. So it would have to be 6 against 4, and we only had 5, didn't we? 4, 9, 10, 5 against 4. Yeah, so it's not going to go ahead. Okay. Right, fair enough. So I think that's all that's going to happen, isn't it? Yeah, so that I was just double checking there. These units move from here and here, not leaving any detachments. And there was no reserve units to look at also for placing reserves on detachments. So that's it, and he's the only unit that didn't. So he can't move back to reserves. Yeah, okay, that's our impulse over. But they do have a support card that's not been used. So we're now going to get it as a second impulse. So let's have a look at what's going on with that. Okay, so it's the 1st SS and 12th SS, and they're going to activate. I'm glad I did move that unit there, because this guy probably, yeah, pretty sure he would have moved up to Spa. So we've got a 1st SS unit there. That's a Piper unit. So there must be another one somewhere. Oh, he's here. And then the 12th SS, there's probably 2 there and 1 there, or something like that. Okay, so they're going to activate. There's no robot markers. The army objective is away along to the west. Yeah, it's fine, it's staying where it is. There's no reserve unit. There is a 1st SS core unit, but it's from the 3rd F division, so it's not part of the 2 divisions, so we're not considering that. So, okay, they've been moving an awful lot, the 1st SS, haven't they? So, let's have a look. Yeah, this unit would indeed have moved up into Spa with movement method 1C. So that was a good one for us. I'm down to cause surround and just having a look here. This unit here, I mean, I've not looked at anything else, but obviously this is unit selector number 2. Mind you, we work our way down with this. But I was looking at this unit and he's not surrounded. Now, whether I can make him surrounded or not, but I'm saying he's not surrounded, but he can't move anywhere. He's adjacent to his buddies here, but this is a full stacked hex. Now, okay, I could move through that hex, but it's 3 movement for me to move into that from there. So I'd be overstacking that hex. Not sure if I've come across that before or not. Just thought it was quite interesting. I suppose still going by the rules, you've got to say he's not surrounded as such, because these units, if these units were to move away. But then again, I don't know if that would be classed as being surrounded or not. The fact that he's not got anywhere he can move. Well, on saying that, of course, if I activate that core, I could move one of these units out and then be able to move him in. So I suppose you've got to look at that. But yeah, I think I've got to read it that surrounded means that this needs to have a German zone of control in this hex, and there's not at the moment. So, but yeah, quite interesting to see that unit can't actually move anywhere until one of these units move out. But maybe I'm overthinking that one. Okay, so, well, let's see if there's cause surround. I was looking at that unit first, but I shouldn't be really, should I? I should be looking at, so it's this one under here, 26, but, okay, give me a sec. Okay, so this is the highest selector number of what we've got to play with, 26. Now, we're back at this bit about, is he causing surround? And I think I started grasping what Martin was saying regarding that if he was the only unit left that was there, then yes, and he would move adjacent, but he's not. He's exerting a zone of control in here, which is partly, well, he's adding to the causing of surround of this unit and this unit, but he's not doing it by himself. I think that's what we've got to move past. But it does say that move non-bracket unit to hex that would cause unsurrounded allied unit to be surrounded. And then it goes on if already causing surround. And yes, if he was the only unit that was causing surround and could move adjacent to whatever it was he was surrounding, then yeah, but I don't think he's classified as that. But this unit up here is not surrounded, and I'm pretty sure he can go 1, 2, 3, 4. He can go into that hex, surround them. Now he might be able to. So wonder about coming down here as well. It's a wee bit off camera, Grant. Hang on. Zoom out a little bit. I mean, he could potentially also go one. No, I don't think he's going to be able to surround these guys. Right, I'll have a look just in case though. Okay, he can't get around into. He would have to get to Malmedy, I think, to surround these. He can't quite get there. Strangely enough, the Piper can. But then he would be moving, so I'm not sure. But anyway, we can't look at that yet. But this unit that we talked about, that I said, although it's not surrounded, technically, it can't actually move because of the armoured units there. But this unit could come down into here and surround that unit. So he's got two possible units that he could go and surround. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting a bit stuck up with things. I've just been away. It doesn't feel like that long I've been away, but so I've got two possible units I can surround. So which one do I pick? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. The second bullet of cause surround says, if able to reach more than one hex it would surround a unit, move to the hex that would prevent the allied unit from tracing supply if able. That's when we're talking about the hex, really, so I don't think at the moment we need to pick between the two units. So I think we need to jump to the tiebreakers for that. If more than one destination hex meets the requirements, it's not really, it's more than one unit. We've got a choice here. Am I missing something? Hang on. Yeah, I don't think I do jump to tiebreakers yet, because tiebreakers is talking about if more than one destination hex. So it's not really tie-breaking between two units here. Whereas the bullet on cause surround is, if able to reach more than one hex it would surround a unit. So I can reach this hex that could surround this unit. I could possibly even reach another hex that would surround a unit. And I could reach this hex that could surround that unit. But I want to prioritise, well, it then carries on, move to the hex that would prevent the allied unit from tracing supply if able. Now, if both of these ended up being the same, then maybe move to tiebreakers then, I think. I don't know, maybe I'm missing the obvious here. But however, I don't think I can stop this unit from tracing supply. Because I think this is the only hex I can go to that's going to surround it. It will surround it, but he can still trace supply by going into there and into there, and he's away. Whereas if I put a unit there, this unit cannot trace supply. Now if I'm able to put the unit there, that surrounds them and stops them tracing supply as well. So I do pretend. So I think I'm going up here. I can't get up to that hex, but I can get to one of these two hexes that's going to surround that unit and stop it from being able to trace supply. So then I look at tiebreakers. Now I'm saying I can get into that hex. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. So I could move into either of the hexes. So now, and tactical adjustments aren't going to make any difference. There's no rivers, they're both empty hexes. So tiebreakers 9.22, closest army objective. Well, it's going to be that hex, isn't it? Yeah, so this hex is one hex closer. So he's gonna go now. Could he find a different route? Can he go 1, 2? You can actually go through this hex to create a detachment. Yeah, not only that, he's going to go across that bridge as well. So 1, 2 across the bridge marker. 3 into the square hex, and then 2 more into there. Okay. Okay, next unit to consider is Piper. He's number 7. This is starting to look kind of horrible. This first SS have really been. They started kind of slow, didn't they? Because like I said before, he can actually move right round into Malmedy. I mean, he could just come and surround this guy. We're still talking movement method 3 cause surround. So, like I say, I don't believe this guy is classified as surrounded, even though he can't move. So that's how I'm reading that just now. But he could just move into here, and then he's surrounded. But he could go right around into Malmedy, and that means these guys are surrounded. Well, in actual fact, I think that surrounds that as well, doesn't it? Yeah, but that's not really part of the instruction. We're wanting to, what is it? There's 2 different hexes. Oh, let's just say there's 2 different targets we can surround. Again, if we look at, if able to reach more than 1 hex, it would surround a unit. Move to the hex, it would prevent the allied unit from tracing supply. So again, if we go here, this unit can still trace supply out into there. Whereas we come round into Malmedy, not only can these armoured units not trace supply, that can't trace supply either. Well, I think that's the way it's going to go. He's not breaking any restrictions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaving a detachment there. 5. Leaving a detachment there. And then into Malmedy, crossing the bridge. Oh dear, dear, dear. So yeah, grabs that bridge. And 2 more detachments. And control marker from Malmedy. Yeah, and these units are now surrounded. Like I say, this guy's now definitely surrounded too, isn't he? Okay, getting a bit nasty. Okay. So I was just trying to read ahead there, because this unit, although he's participating in the cause surround, and so is this unit, and we need to whittle it down to 1 unit, but there's still another unit there that can't move because he's from a different division. So both these units can freely move away, and these 2 units are still going to be surrounded. So we don't need to consider that these are causing surround. That's the way I'm thinking about it. Okay, so I don't think any of them can surround another unit that's not surrounded already anyway. Actually, moving down, 5 and selector number 5 and 4 can't, and 3 is surrounded himself. But unit 2 can surround this. This unit's got an out hex. It's only got 1 hex here that it can move into. So this unit can, just by moving here, he surrounds them. But you can also move here and surround them. Or here, I suppose. Anyway, he does have the potential to surround an unsurrounded allied unit. Okay, that's quite interesting. So this unit, he's got 4 hexes that he could go that surrounds this guy. He could go 1, 2, breaking zone of control, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which seems the most obvious one, and it's adjacent to the unit. But he could just go 1, 2, that surrounds the unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back into there surrounds that unit. 1, 2, 3 into here surrounds the unit, and 1, 2, 3, 4 into there surrounds the unit. So he's got, in fact, that's 5 hexes, isn't it? He's got 5 different hexes, and only 2 of them are adjacent to the unit. But none of them can do what the second bullet wants, is to stop this unit from being able to trace supply. Sorry, no, let me go back on that. This unit can't trace supply anyway, so it's irrelevant. Any of these hexes don't help with that, if you know what I mean. So my guess is you've got to move to tiebreakers, but just wondering if I'm not seeing anything that says that it would want to be adjacent to it. I mean, you would think it would. You know, it's only when it comes down to when it's causing surround that it would then consider to try and move adjacent. But that's not where we're at. We're just trying to cause surround. It probably is. I think it is. It's maybe going to go in this hex. Oh, don't tell me I've had that off camera, have I? Oh, Grant, for goodness sake. Okay, rather than stop that and redo it, sorry folks. Okay, what was I saying? He's got 5 different hexes he can move into surrounding this guy. He can just drop into here for 2 movement points, and that surrounds him. Because the out this guy's got is this hex here, so as long as we get a zone of control on this hex, so he can go here, 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 or here, this unit. And only 2 of the hexes happen to be adjacent to the unit. So, and like I mentioned that unit can't trace supply anyway, so we can't block, we can't block what's not there. He's not got a trace to supply, so we don't need to bother about that. So I think it's then going to come down to tiebreakers. I mean, obviously the tactical adjustments would come into it if we were moving into one of these 2 hexes, but there's no issues with the tactical adjustments. So I think tiebreakers want closest to the army objective, and it's going to be that hex there. It's going to be closer. So yes, I believe that's where he's going to go. So 1, 2, breaking zone of control, 3 along the road, and 4. There's not any way of getting to any other. And by moving 2 there, this unit, he had an out on this hex, and now that's blocked off. And we've still got units here to surround that, so nothing else has been affected. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so that's the last of being able to cause surround. So, and then there's no infantry unit, so we can skip movement methods 5 to 9. So moving on to 10 to 13. So they go in ascending order. We've got a 3, a 4, and a 5. Selector number 3 can't do anything, can't move with his arrows, can't get close. He's surrounded, so. And he's not stacked to another unit, so he can't infiltrate. So he's not going to do nothing. Unit number 4, right, he's probably going to have a dash towards Verviers, I would think. Because he can move with his arrows. So he can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right along his primary arrows. It's not. Jesus. Right. It's probably unlikely any youngsters are going to be watching this video. What do you get out of that? What is that? I don't get that. Oh, this. They do it a lot here. I don't understand it. Anyway, okay. I'm maybe too old and boring. Oh, I meant to say when I started this game, and I forgot to mention it when I started the Allies solo. We start on December the 16th. That is my birthday, December the 16th. And it's, well, just to get an idea of my age, you can work it out. It's 20 years exactly from 20 years before my actual birthday. So 20 years from the day, December the 16th, 1944. So, yeah, I did mention that. I thought it was quite interesting. Maybe. To me. Okay, where was that? Math is 10 to 13, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, we got that. So you can then extend it though, can't you? Give me a sec. Yeah, so I think this guy he's going to push on towards Verviers, so that's his primary arrow. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to leave detachment here and here. So 3, 4, 5. Leaving 2 detachments. And then you can extend that move just by one more hex, which isn't good, but however, that's his forward arrow, so you can go into there, but he's not allowed to, with extended movement, to move right into Verviers, but well, it's bad enough. Yeah. No, I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't get these units moving far enough, quick enough. That was the worst. To be honest, that was the worst card to have got, wasn't it? Have we not had, like, just thinking back there? Yeah, we've had the first SS. You know what though? We skipped. I seem to remember us skipping by the 2 army card. We've got the 6th Panzer army card and the 5th Panzer army card. I think they got drawn for combat tactics, so maybe it's not as bad as. Well, you know what? I think it's a tough game. Like it's tough to stop them. Okay, so yeah, he extends his move 1 movement. In fact, he's actually got another detachment there, 2, isn't he? So he's right outside Verviers. I don't think we can. And now the fact he's right outside, we can't extend and move into there because there's a German unit adjacent. Oh dear. Okay. Right. So movement. Unit number 5. You can probably move with arrows 2. Now he is going to be leaving this victory point town empty, so give me a sec. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Allied supply is not going to be traceable to this hex. That would prevent that unit from moving. So there's no problem there. So primary arrows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he can extend as well. And beside this one, yeah. I've got a feeling we're losing Verviers. And I had a tougher time of getting into it in my playthrough than what they've had, but I think that's my bad, really. Yeah, I've not played this very well, I don't think, from the Allies' point of view. Okay. I think that's the last one, isn't it? There should be 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this guy can't do nothing. So, and he won't be able to bounce back to reserves or anything like that as well. Okay, I think that's their impulse over. Yeah. So I'm going to tidy that up a bit, and well, yeah, I did quite enjoy that wee spell. It was interesting getting back into the working out what the AI is going to do is probably what you spend the most time on, and within this game, really. I like that. A lot of people don't. A lot of people want to be able to do their own stuff, but I really do like moving moving the units with the AI properly, and that satisfies that good. Yeah, I like to see the allies. The AI play out. It's good to see it working, and yeah, it just shows you if you're not paying attention, if you're not on the ball, look at that. It's they're all over the place. I'm starting to worry about defeat on the 20th. To be honest, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't know. What is it? What do they need? 40. Need greater than 40. They're sitting on 16 just now, but this is only the 18 still. Yeah, you could see it. I mean, I've also got to watch, pan the camera a little bit to see how close Liège is. So I mean, once they drop out of Verviers, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, admittedly, they need to go. They need to grab that hex as well as that hex to get the city, but yeah, don't look good. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that for now, guys, and like I say, things might be coming along a bit slower now. Just feel like been burning myself out a bit with this, so yeah, but we'll get back to it soon. Okay, cheers.